So winter is coming at the very end. Is that the beach trying to tell me to prepare?
Yeah.
Is that winter is coming? So was that iRobot? Was that
That was
was it the
iRobot.
movie?
It was
Was that
Wolverine
it?
iRobot.
got the best. Wolverine got the best character.
Yeah. So
That's the
iRobot. I
school.
thought that's what it was, and good character too. The character actually was looked like the little animated thing looked like the iRobot stuff.
Yeah.
So hey Andrew, how are you doing today?
Good. Got my Christmas lights up.
Yeah, I
Wow.
see
Got
that.
the
You
flashing this.
got this festive season going on. Alban, how are you doing today? I hadn't seen you since
I'm
Friday.
yeah, I know. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. It's got a little chilly now. It's just starting to the temperature's starting to drop.
Yeah, he's getting a little chilly. It got chilly. Well, I showed you guys. I actually saw some snow last week, but then it went away.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. We got Eddie over here. Eddie's joined the show over there. We got Shrink and Sharon. Thank you for hanging out with us. Mandy, thank you for joining us. Roger, as always in there. Diana's joined us today. Nice to have
Yay.
her here. Yeah, nice to have her with us. Michael's hanging out with us. So great to see everybody. Well, and thank you, Shrink and Sharon's right. Great intro by Da Beach. Da Beach making the intros for us for the shows. Certainly appreciate his hard work making those things. Jim, thanks you for joining us. So today's movie is Shang-Chi,
Shang Chi.
Legends Shang-Chi. Yeah,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Shang Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Shang
Legend
Chi.
of the Ten Rings. So we got that. That's going to be the movie today that we're going to talk about. We also want to make sure that you go on Telegram. So any of you guys that are in our side chat, jump in Telegram, vote on this week's movie as well as voting what movie we have to watch next week. There's a bunch of movies to watch next week. Yep, and as Andrew says, hit the like button, like, subscribe, and share, and all them things.
Subscribe.
Yep. So we got that going on. So let me go ahead. We'll run through some of the
Movies for next week.
movies for next week. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. I have to. For some reason.
Your tabs aren't pulling up.
Yeah. If Vivaldi, what is it called?
Vivaldi.
If I don't have it full size, for some reason I can't see it on the show.
Right. Yeah, I can't
try
see
that
anything on mine.
Yeah. So I just have to make it big. All right. So there we go. So that is a movie we're going to do for this week, right? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So then for the movies for next week that we're voting for, and I'm going to run through these movies real quick, let you guys get a glimpse of them so that you can vote before the end of the show. So we have that going on. We got Beans, which is based on a true story. Tracy Deer's debut feature chronicles a 78-day standoff between two Mohawk communities and government forces in 1990 in Quebec. So a little Canadian movie there for us.
Yeah, man, I found one for you guys.
Yeah.
It was actually very interesting because
Okay.
I never even knew about this story, you know?
Neither.
So I really enjoyed it. I
was actually thinking it was going to be up the pipeline, and when I first saw, I thought, oh, this is going to be about that pipeline that was out, going through the middle of the United States. But
right,
this is up in Canada, so we got that. Bruise, which is Halle Berry, disgraced MMA fighter, finds redemption in the cage and the courage to face her demons when her son she has given up as an infant unexpectedly re-enters her life. So Halle Berry, so she is the MMA fighter?
One.
Yeah, she's the MMA fighter.
Yeah,
that's
Netflix,
a Netflix one, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a Netflix one.
Didn't hear many good things about that, but I do like Halle Berry.
I hadn't even noticed it on the list, because when you open up Netflix, it gives you those. I had not seen this up, advertised.
Me either.
No,
I saw it soon.
I haven't seen it yet, and we use Netflix every couple days. We're going to open up Netflix. Introducing Selma Blair, which actually I will watch this even if it's not picked. I think this is quite an interesting.
It had the highest rating.
Yes, and this is a true story based. It's done. This is Selma Blair's actual she's recording herself as she's going through with her issues with MS. And I have friends, that have struggled with these kind of things, and it's a disease that can kind of come on people and they not realize that they have it, and it can hide itself under other conditions. But she ends up, I saw an interview, and she had to do some experimental treatments that were not allowed by her insurance and in the US. And I think she goes out of the country to get some of these experimental procedures done. So definitely, this is a Discovery Plus original. I think this is going to be a pretty good movie, but it's a documentary. But definitely, it's something that's going to be looking at MS and some of the treatments, I think, is what she's going through. Let's see, Jarhead, Law of Return. Ronan, a fighter pilot, and Israeli, is shot down in Syria, and it has to do with basically they got 36 hours to get him out, so it's kind of like shot down behind enemy lines kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So little war action for you, little war.
Yeah.
King Richard, which was based on Venus and Serena Williams and their life growing up, learning how to play tennis. Got what is it? Will Smith is in this one.
Smith, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's more about that dad than it is about them.
Yeah, it's a lot about the dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, really more about the father.
How we kind of raised them.
Girl. Yeah.
So that's one of the options. We also have an option, and Eddie will probably be the first one to pick this one. Tick Tick Boom, a musical. I watched. I watched the trailer for this yesterday. Blue and I watched the trailer for this last night. Yes, musical. So it is on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, this is available out there.
The next movie I want to see Andrew Garfield in is Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man that's coming out.
Right, but you know what? After trying to watch Tick Tick, I don't know if I can look at him the same way. I think I need to see him in it so I can forget.
You can rinse your palate.
I definitely need to rinse my palate. Definitely, that's exactly the perfect wording for it for me.
Okay. Brand new to the streaming community for anybody out there, Venom, Let There Be Carnage is out. Full versions of this all the way up to 4K. So that is available out there. So it's not Venom 2. It is Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which is the second Venom film. Sometimes some people get a little upset when you say Venom 2, but it is the second sequel to Venom. But it is Let There Be Carnage. Woody Harrelson, Tom Hardy, of course, and Michelle Williams, who was in the first one. That just got dropped 1 or 2 days ago, I think. Maybe 2 days ago? Hasn't been long.
Tuesday,
yeah, it hasn't been long. Zeros and Ones, an American soldier stationed in Rome with the Vatican blown up, embarks on a hero's journey to uncover and defend against an unknown enemy threatening the entire world. Ethan Hawke in this. So this is another one of those action things with some terrorism going on. So that is an option. So we had, let's see, about 7 of them. So you had Beans, Bruised, introducing Selma Blair. I don't think so, unless I missed one. Jarhead, Law of Return, because there is another Jarhead, so it's like older. King Richard, Tick Tick Boom, Venom, and Zeros and Ones. So be sure to vote for whichever one that you would like us to cover, so that by the end of the show, was it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're right. You're good.
Okay.
Yep, it was 8 of them. So that's one of those movies will be chosen by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, some people may be asking about Blue. I haven't been looking at the chat, but she is feeling under the weather, so she will not be here with us today. She's not feeling well. And hey, I didn't notice this over here, bro.
What?
The little zoom over here.
On
Vivaldi.
Yeah, it has a zoom.
Yeah, I know. I've been using like control.
Oh, but wait, which zoom are you using?
This one down here. down here on the bottom. It's like
Oh,
right down here on the right hand
yeah,
corner.
yeah. I see it.
So yeah. So hey, I will say we'll also show you a new browser to use, because please don't use Chrome. It's got all kinds of issues going on. So just beware. The Vivaldi, really good browser. You may want to check it out. I know that Alban uses this on a regular.
Yeah.
So Shang Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. Let's go ahead and jump into this, y'all. What was our thoughts on this new Marvel movie that is out? I know that they pushed this back for almost a year due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it took off at the box office, did really well at the box office.
I love this, mate. I was worried because, well, I guess now that I didn't realize it got pushed back, so now I understand why it was as good as it is, because I was expecting, I was a bit worried because obviously after watching Black Widow, and it wasn't. I was thinking the new era of Marvel movies was going to be, apart from Spider-Man, which I cannot wait for that movie. That's going to be the biggest Marvel movie yet. But yeah, so I was a bit worried about the way Marvel movies were going after watching Black Widow, but this was just like fantastic. The action in this was just is just some of the best. Like some of the best action, like fight scenes I've seen. In a long time, and the chemistry between these two was brilliant as well.
Aquafina, what's it? Aquafina. She makes this movie. She really does.
I don't know about that.
You don't know. She just cracked me up. So. I think the chemistry between them two was funny.
Yeah, it was great. You do have to make sure that you're paying attention to the whole thing, though, because obviously there is a foreign language in it, and like there's subtitles for some of it. So if you want to keep up with the story, you need to make sure that you're reading those bits, because I did find that if I looked away for a second and I missed a bit, I had to go back just a second just to make sure I got especially near the end when he's fighting his father. And there's a lot of context to what's going on, and that's like the end of the movie, isn't it? Like one of the cutscenes.
No, yeah.
But I was when I was watching it, in the bus fight scene at the very beginning, that set the tone for every other fight scene that was going to be in it, because that was just immense. That was just so fun to watch.
I thought that was great. But I felt my problem was that they should have at least just let because with all the subtitles that they had to put there in that to explain the story, I think that they could have just had someone explaining that so someone could really watch that fight scene in the beginning, because I thought it was such an incredible fight scene. But my eyes had to be drawn to, I have to read the subtitles. And I'm normally not one to have a problem with subtitles, but I was with this because I didn't know whether the subtitles were going to be there for me in English, or if it was going to be the subtitles for what was going on in Chinese. And I felt it just drew me away from, it pulled me out of what I was into on the movie.
Okay.
And that irritated me.
Yeah, because you did have to. I mean, you got to think about this. Within what was it? 2 minutes of this scene here is in the beginning. It was probably 2 to 3 minutes. Wasn't real long, I didn't think. But in that 2 to 3 minutes gives you all the background without having to go in who the dad was.
Right.
It may have been a little bit longer than 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe it's 4 minutes, because you got to think about when he goes and meets his wife. That was all in subtitles also.
Right.
I get what you're saying about that it kind of pulled away, but I guess it still stayed very it really felt Chinese. It felt like you're watching a Chinese film because you had those subtitles. This scene was beautiful. And I told you guys last week, I watched this. Disney offers it in the IMAX or here in North America, they offered it the IMAX quality on Disney, and I mean it is beautiful. I mean, I watched it off of my 4K version. Was not as good as the 4K version that Disney offered. The IMAX version, the quality was better. The scenes, the image, like this image here, the 3-dimensional, the depth that it gave was just beautiful. But I mean, I really, I didn't mind a little bit of reading. I mean,
I don't
you read
mind
for about
reading.
5 minutes.
I know I don't mind reading, but
Yeah.
it's just that they could have just explained it in English. Just have that little soft voice. You remember, like in Lord of the Rings, she's explaining everything to you and not pulling you away from what you're. That I felt you're supposed to draw me into. You're trying to draw me into that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me have to jump back out to say, oh, I got to read to what's going on.
Yeah.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about? So you're talking about the very beginning, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because remember they gave the background story. This was in subtitles.
Right. And a lot of it was, and I think what bothered me was because a lot of times it was, okay, all of a sudden they're speaking English, and then all of a sudden then they start talking Chinese. So now like, oh, you bring me out and making me have to look at subtitles again. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that was right.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't too bothered by it, to be honest, but I think they did a good job of telling the story anyway in the fights, especially like this one that you're showing on the screen here between two parents. They kind of like turned into like a dance, didn't it? Because they did slow motion bits, and that's when you like could tell, oh, this is going to be his love interest.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
it was like they were dancing. I mean, they were dancing.
It was like Trakt and Tiger.
I felt like I was watching Dancing with the Stars. I was like, and the way that she used because remember she taught her son, you don't have to use force. You can use their force and power against them. And you saw like when he would come with the rings, she would just redirect it, without having to confront it. And what I thought was interesting is that the rings went to her too.
Yeah.
The rings, she controlled the rings. Remember when he shot the rings and they went out into the woods or into the bamboo and then came back and they swirled around her and she had them and then she basically shot them back at him. And they turned gold, the same thing they did with Shang Chi.
With the sun, yeah.
They turned that because of his juju, his inner aura. I liked it. It was really good. I thought that this scenes, and as I think that Andrew said it, the fight scenes were just the choreography was phenomenal. It just phenomenal choreography, and sometimes martial art movies are like,
No, I think it's because they were able to spend all that extra time working on the movie instead of just pushing it out like all this other stuff they do. Because think about how much time they had to sit back and work on this. Because COVID started when they started doing this movie, and they shut down production, and then they said, you know what, let's let these guys, work on all the CGI. And they did. They had all the time in the world to do it, And so that's why you get a great looking movie compared to a lot of the other junk that's coming out now.
Yeah, it didn't feel. They definitely it wasn't rushed. They did spend some time. I thought that, and to me, character development. We talk about character development and how well. I thought they did a good job with it. I mean, I felt that connection, even with the dad, who ends up kind of being the bad guy. He's a bad guy, but he's being manipulated by that dragon. So it's almost like you kind of feel sorry for him because he wanted his wife back. He loved his wife, So I don't know. I thought that they did a great job. I mean, even with Ben Kingsley, someone said that Kingsley was another comic relief in this. A great
Yeah.
job. Aquafina, I thought she was a good comic relief for me because we've talked about that. That for me, I got to have that little bit of a little
Comedy.
funny, yeah, just
Uh-huh.
enough to lighten the mood. Just to lighten it.
I just don't know why she wasn't doing it to me. I think it
Yeah,
was like she was overacting it. Everyone else
yeah.
just felt so they should be there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They felt like it felt like they were perfect. They were the actors for this.
Hmm.
People that could really act. But Aquafina, I just felt like she was just like let's give her a funny line or
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, she did
you
feel
know
awkward. And
yeah
I see what you're saying because the other characters were a certain level-ish. She
yeah
was awkward, but I think that was done on purpose. I think that they wanted her to be that awkward, nerdy,
yeah
that kid,
uh-huh.
that adult kid that can't get their shit together.
Yeah, well,
you know,
I can
um,
understand that, but I don't know. Even the way they dressed her was
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it made her look childish.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I think they
that's
wanted her to
why I
be
didn't.
immature. They
Yeah,
wanted her to look, because here she is 20 whatever and
yeah,
doesn't, and she
Yeah,
doesn't, isn't applying herself. And
yeah.
remember what she said in that one point is, you can't, or the old woman says, well, you can't fail if you never try, or you never can hit the
mm-hmm.
target if you don't even take a shot.
If you shot, yeah,
Um, and
Yeah,
that's,
because
I thought that,
she mentions that she was going on about how it must be great to dedicate yourself to something all your life and get good at it.
hmm
When she's like, I just like pick something up and then get bored and then do something else. So they kind of made her character like that anyway. But then she kind of matures at the end,
yeah,
when she's like taken under the wing by the old guy with the bow and arrow
yep,
in them. Like that was kind of like a short. Like that's kind of the character that she connected with on the maturity level, but it was like a short period because like it's in the ending scenes, it's in the last few scenes of the movie, so
mm-hmm.
which still comes over like more mature, and obviously she hits that fantastic shot to the throat of the thing. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of like at the end of the movie, I thought her character came across a lot more serious. So
hmm
it'd be interesting to see what they do in the next
but
one.
I thought that they would have, showed more of the love that they had for each other
love
more.
interest,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean. It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was missing. So that's
yeah,
like it's like they said that, oh well, let's cut that out. We won't even do that because it's like
yeah.
he he and her should never really be together because they just don't click that way.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like they're she's his friend, and it's like
Right,
we all see. I mean, how many of us have had female friends that you're friends with that you can say whatever and you can be however
right,
you want to be in front of them, but you would never take it to that level. To maybe if other people are like, "Oh, are you guys dating?" Like, well, no, that's like
right,
my sister, kind
right.
of thing.
But I don't
I
think it was supposed. I don't think it was written like they were
Yeah,
supposed to be. Bro, I think because look at her, her mother or grandmother that was
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she was like, okay,
yes,
basically like, okay,
yeah.
he's
When you gonna
been
get
there all
married?
this time. When you two are
Yeah,
gonna get married? You know what I mean?
yeah,
She wouldn't
yeah,
say that
yeah.
if not because they held hands. At
mm,
one or two points in the movie.
I think it was just meant for them to just be friends because it's only everybody else that was trying to get them together. Them two just always
Yeah.
acted like friends. There was never like any scene or moment between the two of them really where it looked
Okay.
like they like each other in that way. It,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think it was just
Yeah.
like the traditional families trying to be all traditional.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
this
Because
boy
they're
and this
like,
girl.
you guys been around. You love each. You guys are friends, and he's the perfect guy. And then maybe down the road they will be a love interest, but I don't think in
Mhm.
this movie they didn't want to do
I
it.
never got
I
the
saw.
Not using
never got the
her, I
vibe.
don't think.
Yeah. I see. Charles says that
Yes,
Kingsley was
exactly.
not needed. Did you see?
Yeah.
He says
Yeah, I
that
saw
Ben
him.
Kingsley. I mean, so what did you guys think about Ben Kingsley? So we talked about Aquafina. What did you guys think about Ben Kingsley in this?
Now, I was hoping that Blue would have been here to talk about the whole Ben Kingsley thing because since she's the real true Marvel nerd, because I know that I have some other thing that about his because they did this other Marvel thing because I
Yeah.
know they have the assembled, but there was
There
like
wa-
another short thing that they did about the position that Kingsley plays.
Well, he was
Kingsley
in
was
he was in one of the Captain Americas, wasn't he?
yeah
It was,
Right,
yeah he
right,
was
right. But they
it was
did
a
well,
another
civil war.
Iron
thing.
Man. Iron Man was in. It was in.
Iron
Wasn't it
Man.
as
It was
Avengers?
it
Wasn't
was
Avengers?
Iron Man. It was
Yeah,
Iron Man.
because he was with
No,
the
no,
stripper
it was
or with.
part of Captain America, and I think it was. Oh God, Blue's
But
probably.
I have it on my server and I can't remember the name of it. But it's
I think
that
He
that
was the
whole
he was the Mandarin. Yeah, he was the Mandarin.
okay.
Because but remember he just played the part. He wasn't the Mandarin. He just
Right,
played the part,
Yeah,
and
he
there
was just
was
an actor.
yeah
right.
he
But
was just the actor in front of the camera whenever they were like I'm the
right,
Mandarin and
but
I'm
there was this
oh
other
Oh
thing
no, it was
Iron
Iron
Man
Man
3.
3. Yeah,
There you go.
but there
yeah.
was
For whatever reason,
another Marvel thing that they did about
Oh,
him.
was it?
And that
Okay.
right, and I was gonna ask Blue if she knew about it, and
Uh-huh.
because I didn't watch it, I have it, but I didn't watch it, and I
All
know there's a
hail the
whole
king.
story about him.
The one shot, Marvel one shot. All hail
Yeah,
the
like
king. It
yeah,
was called. I never
yeah.
watched
All
that.
Hail the King.
It was
Right,
like a
right. I
14,
see. I didn't watch it
14
neither.
minutes,
Right, I have
like
it,
one of
but
the
I didn't
shorts.
watch it, and I know
Yeah.
that's got to give more of the story of what's going on here.
But I mean, so
I
what did you guys think of the character? I mean, with him being in the movie, so did you guys
I
like
always
him in the
like to see
not
Kingsley. I like
okay?
him a lot. He is. I feel Kingsley should be. For any actor to be able to say they got to work with him is
Yeah.
just because you learn so much from him. He's such a great actor. So I'm happy to
Yeah,
see him in anything he gets to do.
I think it was a nice. It was like a nice nod to the Iron Man, and it was like a
Mhm.
nice little cameo.
Yeah.
But I think who was it? I think what Charles is saying, it probably wasn't neat. You probably could have got away with not
Right,
having him
they
in.
could have got away
But
without him. Right.
it was still nice to have him in. The only issue I had with him was his Liverpudlian accent was friggin' terrible. He's trying to sound like John Lennon, and it I don't know. It kind of like
See, I
was
don't
a little
hear it.
bit.
I can't
Yeah.
hear that.
No,
They're all
I did,
those accents are the same to us.
yeah, I didn't hear it much to myself, to be fair. But yeah, I didn't hate his character. I thought it was a nice little role for him, like the little what was the little creature called? What was he calling it?
He had like a he was like I can't remember
the
the one that was talking to Ben Kingsley the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that again that wasn't needed, but to me, just that little bit of comic relief when
Mhm.
like when they're going down through the bamboo, and he's like, oh, he says turn left, and
Morris.
and and he's talking to him, and only he can hear it because it was funny. It's funny when you see it and they all freak out about seeing him. And Ben Kingsley's character, it's like, what? You see him because he's acting like he had thought that it was a figment of his own imagination because it was such a weird character. But yeah, I thought that it a funny little part, again, not needed, but I don't know, just that little bit of comic relief.
He's part of the Marvel universe. You got to have him in it.
Yeah.
He's in there now.
Let's talk about another important person in the movie. How do you guys feel about his sister?
I thought that to me, I feel like because this movie actually gives you two characters
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to call Aquafina. I'm not going to count her because she's kind
No.
of a side character along with Shang Chi. I think that his sister in later Marvel movies is going to play because she's in charge of the 10 Rings now. So I think they're laying the groundwork not only for him, but to bring his sister in, and she's going to have them as their army to implement it. So I did.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't
Okay.
give a lot of story about it, but I think that it's laying the groundwork for down the road.
Mm-hmm.
This young lady here, yeah. So to me, I think that she wasn't much. She didn't have a lot of speaking roles in the whole movie. To be honest, I don't know
But
how
she's
many times
angry. She's angry.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Well, she felt like she got left.
Yeah.
And
But she still did.
yeah,
No
she
matter
did.
which
And,
way you look at it, you know,
yeah,
she
she
still did.
was. And also in their society, she was not looked upon as an equal, and she felt like she was an equal in that. And so again, all I'm supposed to do is be a wife and give, make babies. Is that what I'm supposed to do? And she wanted more, and you could see she could fight.
Yeah.
So I think that she's the next movie, or even in other Marvel, I think that they're laying the groundwork where they'll be able to pull her in, and the 10 Ring, because now she's in charge of the army of the 10 Rings.
Yeah, the army, but the rings themselves still
Oh
belong
no,
to Shang
yeah,
Chi.
oh yeah, they're his. But I was speaking of the
The
army,
army.
because at
Okay.
the end they said, she was in
Mhm.
charge of the army. You saw the women training beside the men,
Right.
kind of right there at the very end of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind her. I think that again, I think it was just laying the groundwork is my thoughts. And then they tie in a little bit
The Doctor
of the
Strange.
Doctor Strange. They brought a little bit of that in here.
Mhm.
So I thought that was cute, and
Yeah.
they just do a good job of tying in characters, in my opinion.
Yes, yes and no. I thought it was cheesy at the very, 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 very end when
Hmm.
they throw in Bruce
At the
Banner and yeah,
Yeah,
and what's the name there? Why just
Captain
throw
Marvel.
little
Yeah,
right, throw little images of them up there like that? You know what I mean? And then you're still
yeah,
gonna have to give them full pay. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
It's not like they were there for it. You know what I mean?
To beach. Yeah, and I think that and that's one of the
Well,
things about with Marvels. You always got to watch it till the very, very end, because
I
you never
feel I
know what little
There
think
were two of them.
Easter eggs.
yeah. Well, I think the reason I've had those two characters particularly is because obviously there's the new Captain Marvel, the Marvels coming out, and then there's going to be that Disney Plus TV show, and then there's just She-Hulk Disney Plus TV show that's coming, which obviously
Which
Bruce
one?
Banner will be in that.
Which one?
She-Hulk.
Oh,
She-Hulk.
yeah, the
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think it's just kind of like these characters will all be intertwined in those two projects. So kind of probably why they had them two there. Obviously, an Abomination's going to be in She-Hulk, so that kind of like would have like the Hulk and Bruce Banner as part of that story, and obviously what you call him, what's his name? Yeah,
Bruce
Doctor
Banner?
Strange's no,
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange?
Strange's colleague. What's his name, man?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
his name.
Wong.
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 This guy.
Wong's going to be a more prominent character going forward. He'll definitely be more involved in the next movie for the 10 Rings. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. He's been in like all the Avengers. It's like he's had smaller roles in what, 6
He's in
or
the new
7.
Spider-Man there for a little bit.
I mean, he's been in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to have a prominent role in the Multiverse of Madness. I think that the whole multiverse thing is just going to make so many good movies. There's just so many possibilities now with the multiverse, like especially after what happened in Loki. So yeah, I'm excited for Marvel's future. But this was a good.
Yeah, I think
this is a good movie from this phase.
Yeah, and I think that again, origin stories should, number one, entertain you, give you some understanding of how they got their power, how they got, and how they got it, and they should tie you into and actually care about that character. And I thought this movie, they did a good job. I cared about, like I said, for me, I cared about all the characters that were in this, even the dad. I thought that it played into all the different parts, and that's what you want in an origin story. You don't want an origin story to say, like, I'd be good. Okay if I skip this one. You don't.
I will say as well, like you said, it's great origins, great for an origin story, and also it's a great introduction to people who probably like myself. I am into Marvel a lot, but not as obviously as much as what probably Blue is. Blue would already know this character, but this character, like Shang Chi, was probably not as well known to the wider audience that have started getting into Marvel. So I think this was a really good start and good introduction for this character to the rest of the casual Marvel fan base, and also adding those well-known characters in at the end and telling them welcome to this is your world now, for when they're checking the origin of the rings and stuff, and Shang-Chi's like, oh god, what does all this mean? And I'm confused and stuff, and Wong's like, yeah, welcome to the rest, welcome to the party or something like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like telling the audience this character he's now in with the main group, so he's an important character in Marvel, so kind of invests you more in the character as well. So, but yeah, it's a good introduction, I think.
I definitely think that they're going to also, because he said, how long did your dad have it? And he said, my dad had it for at least 1,000 years. And they're like, well, it's way older than that. So I think that they also are going to planted a seed that they actually could branch off to actually show you, where did the rings come from? Who else might be trying to get those rings once? Because remember, they said that little
rings are beacon
broadcasting. So then that says, all right, so someone's going to come looking for them rings. And he's like, well, they were older, more than 1,000 years, and they're not barbarian or vivarium or whatever that stuff was. But yeah, like I said, even the dad here, I felt bad for him during this whole fight scene. I felt bad for him.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
he loved his wife.
He loved his wife, and he's just being used by that demon.
I kind of got the feeling that he didn't really love his kids as much as he said he did, because he didn't care much about what they wanted. He only cared about him and getting his wife back.
He loved his wife.
Well, for me, and his character, though, also, he's over 1,000 years old. He's been killing and destroying and basically had anything he wanted when he wanted it. So he's been very self-absorbed for most of his life. In life being over 1,000 years old. So to me, he's going to be narcissist. He's going to be a bit of a narcissist, because he's going to be so, hey, I am the shit. You can't kill me. I got these rings. I can do whatever I want. And the kids, I think he loved his kids, but I don't think he would love them like we would love our kids, because he's also very self-absorbed, because whatever he wanted, he was going to do whatever he needed to do to get to that.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay, you remember at the end of the movie when we did see Bruce Banner?
Yeah.
I can remember, because, like I said, you remember I said before about how I do hate that they have this whole universe of all these movies, and I can't remember one thing from the other. But how in the hell did the Hulk break his arm?
Oh, I can answer that.
Thank you.
It's not. He didn't break his arm. It's that's the arm that he had the goblet on. The
glove. Okay.
Because that's obviously, remember when he did the snap and then his arm was all damaged from.
Oh, okay.
The Hulk's would have been like that, but obviously his is just like he's in recovery. Obviously, must be in recovery, obviously from that, but that'll be from the damage.
Okay.
I mean, unless the actor actually did just break his arm in there.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right because he did, and that's there again. It's those little things that
Too many
Marvel
little
does.
things.
Marvel
Too
does a
many little
really
things.
good job of putting those pieces together.
You see that Captain Marvel's got a long hair again, and I prefer her with a short hair. Me.
Oh, do you? I don't mind it. She's always so busy. And you know when she's like, "Up, got another call. I gotta go," and he's like, "Ah, yeah." She always does that.
Bruce will give you my number.
Yeah.
You say I haven't got a number.
Did you see that thing I put out though about with that Thanos snapping his fingers? You know how that would never have worked, right? Okay.
So one thing that's going to be interesting, like for how they're going to explain it, because I don't think they have so far, is how is Bruce Banner like just back to being Bruce Banner when he was he was Professor Hulk.
Yeah, because Blue said that. Blue says, I thought he was supposed to kind of be the Hulk and Bruce Banner together. She goes, wasn't he supposed to be it when we watched this? I was like, I don't know. Maybe he's got it under control now.
Yeah, so I wonder when that's going to get explained. Maybe in the She-Hulk TV show. Or maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah. So hey, I'm gonna throw that link out because we're at 42 minutes.
Oh wow.
We've been talking a lot about this movie. I mean, and again, I felt like it. I thought they did a really good job to me, and the bus fight scene, and you know that guy on the bus fight scene, and maybe you guys that are watching here and you guys are YouTube, I swear he sounded like Cody Man. If you watch any videos with Cody Man, this guy sounds just like Cody Man. I swear. When I saw this, I looked at Blue. I said, "That's Cody Man. That's Cody Man talking." And she's like, "What?" Because I don't think she's seen any of his videos. So any of you guys sharing or you guys watch Cody Man's videos, tell me when you see some of his videos, this guy was just funny because the same kind of mannerisms of his voice. It just really kind of made me think of that. But I liked it, when he's, videotaping so it.
He's like got his phone up. He's like, "Oh, guys, I used to do some martial arts when I was."
Yeah.
And then he's going, I'll talk you through this fight scene.
Yeah. Hey, and Hawkeye, one of the things I saw Hawkeye today, one of the little, again, snippets that they put in there is it had in there that he's at a toilet and someone had wrote Thanos had it right. It's like written like on the urinal. And I thought that again, it's just tying all these little things in. So we got Mr. T in here. I don't see the camera, so we'll see if he gets camera. Roger, how you doing today? Look at you.
Good. How are you boys?
Look at how handsome he is.
Getting younger every week.
Yeah,
I am. It's that Infinity Stone that I stole. I really enjoyed this movie a lot, other than Awkwafina. She nearly ruined the movie for me. I'm not a fan of her. She was doing the same shtick that she does in Nora from Queens, same shtick that she did in Crazy Rich Asians, same shtick she did in Ocean's 13. I don't find her funny, and I find her humor forced and not funny. So the worst part of the whole movie for me is she's probably wrapped into the next 2 or 3 Shang Chi movies that we get.
Yeah. She's gonna come along with the package. She's gonna be with the package.
There's 2 billion Chinese people in China, and they have to give every freaking Asian role to Awkwafina. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get her. But the CGI in this movie was next level.
Yes.
It was great. The choreography, I'm not a big fan of wire fu. I usually hate it. But since they are comic book characters, I give them a pass for the wire fu because they can do things that humans can't do because they're freaking superheroes, So that part didn't bother me. But I thought the script was good. I like Ben Kingsley's part in it. I enjoy him as an actor. It was a nice throwback to Iron Man 3. I agree with you guys. Wong is going to be more important moving forward in the multiverse. He's going to have a huge part in the next Doctor Strange movie. I'll be surprised if he doesn't show up in the new Spider-Man movie. It was good. It was a good watch. I liked it a lot.
Maybe they signed him in on a cheap contract. They wrote him in, like they're paying him like minimal. So they're like, they said, we'll put you in 6 different movies. We get to pay you the minimum, and he's like, yeah, I'll take it. Before, I don't know, because it's like he like you're right. He's in so many of these. And it's like, well, how does he get to be in so much? I mean, they get him on the cheap and got to keep using him.
Yeah. Probably yes. Probably yes. They signed him. They said you're only going to have 5 lines per movie, so here we're going to give you 50,000 per movie, and he's in all of them now. I don't know, but I would recommend this movie. I watched it with my 7-year-old nephew. He absolutely loved every fight scene in it. The Guardian Lions.
Oh yeah.
Mind on those, and they were good CGI. Very good.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't have much else to say other than I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but it sucks that we had to wait so long to get this movie. The extra time that they were afforded to put into the CGI paid off. So I guess.
Yeah. And the Guardian Island, those. Like you said, those Guardian Lions, those lions. I mean, that goes into the Chinese folklore that you see all the time in, on different drawings or paintings. And I thought they did a real good job. They're just like big old, like little, cats. Remember when they were like laying on the ground and just a cute job.
Very feline.
Everything's got everything's got like a dragon face, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of the dragons, they were awesome. The dragons were great CGI.
Yeah. They were really good.
They did, like you said, there was that part where near the end, when he's getting off of it and it's been in the battle, that one he was riding. Let's see if I can find this slide. Was it in slide 2? Where he gets off of it and it's kind of bloody. And I don't think it was blood. I said, wasn't that the marks that was on that dragon to start with? It kind of had the red and all that stuff. Kind of like here we go. Like you see how it has the red all the way around it, but beautiful, beautiful looking things that I thought is just nothing looked. To me didn't look hokey. I thought that pulled together well.
Yeah.
Even that final kill scene. I thought that was it. That was like, okay, that's a good way to tie that at the rings and. All right, go ahead.
It did kind of piss me off that Awkwafina all of a sudden was a fucking master archer.
Oh yeah. Well, to me, I was like, I guess that was fate. It was fate.
Wu-Tang, baby, protect your neck. Wu-Tang, protect your neck.
Yeah.
Like she gets when they come off the lift to go into like where the fighting arena is, and the guy speaks to her in Chinese, and she's like, "Oh, my Chinese isn't great." But then all of a sudden, at the end of the movie, they're all speaking to her in Chinese, and she's understanding everything that's being said to her.
Yeah, it only takes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's annoying.
Mr. T. I don't know who we got. Who's Mr. T?
What I loved about it was all the people that got killed, because that means there's less people gonna eat my ass tomorrow. I mean, what kind of holiday it is where they chop off your head, shove bread up your ass, then stick in the oven? So the more fuckers that were killed, the better for me. The only turkey you should be having is wild turkey in a bottle. So there you go. But anyways, the movie. It was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot better than I thought. And then one thing we pointed out, the whole Bruce Banner bit at the end, he's back to being Bruce Banner after saying in the last Avengers, "Oh, I found out how I can be both of them," blah, 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 blah. So, that really screwed it up for me. But I enjoyed the movie. I mean, I just imagine how much more money it would have made if the film wasn't banned in China, because China banned the film because the guy who was Shang Chi who was originally born in China, he made, after he left there, I think he was raised in Canada. But he made some comments about China, so they banned it. The actor who played his father is like the most highest grossing or most popular Chinese actor. He's out of Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the only place they got really, I mean, in China to see it there was limited release in Hong Kong, where the rules are a little different. So I mean, it's just, more BS. But the movie was good. I did like the tie-in with the Ben Kingsley character. I thought it added some humor to it. So I enjoyed the movie a lot more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Jesus.
So
there goes what chances of this show ever being any sort of like professional type of review show. We've got a bloody turkey and pie.
A turkey and a pumpkin pie. What's up, Eddie? How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us.
Not too bad yourself. This movie got it started off slow because of the subtitles. And I was wondering, I said, is the whole movie going to be in subtitles? So I tried, I tried a couple of other sites to get to it. Then finally I sat down and I started watching it. First of all, Marvel movies are not my style. But as I got going on this one, it started to grow on me. The only other bad thing I didn't really like about it is because the music score, there was none. So that for me, it takes a little bit about it.
Yeah, Eddie's a very music critic. Any of us people that watch our show, Eddie paid attention to his music.
Didn't they play some music?
Oh, they played some, but
it didn't hit me,
Oh, okay.
But what I found about the father, I found the father was trying to instill on Shang Chi. He had to be an asshole or a son of a bitch to teach his son what he had to be taught. That's the way I thought about it. In other words, he wanted to be nice, but he couldn't be nice and teach him at the same time. The only way to teach him was to be a son of a bitch. Okay.
I got
you. The girlfriend and the sister, I found the relationship was between Shang-Chi and his sister was broken. It was broken, but at the end it was built. They both came together. That's what I really liked about it. That's what the human aspect of it I liked about it. The
I still don't trust the sister. I still don't trust her.
That sister's gonna be evil.
Yeah. But another thing that would intrigue me, it was about at least a good 10 minutes of credits on this movie. And I was looking at the video effects, the special effects. I said, holy shit. Man, there was people working on this fucking movie. I liked it. Now, at the end, when they finished off, they said, it leads right into another movie.
Yeah. That's how they do it. That's
Marvel, baby.
Yeah, it is now.
I'm not into Marvel movies, but this one, I could really recommend it.
Yeah. What's up, Charles? Thank you for joining the show. What's up?
I just found the link.
All right.
At the very end.
Yeah. So, what did you think of?
I like the movie. I don't like Ben Kingsley in movies like this. I think he's just stuck in there. It's not funny. I don't even know why he was there. But anyway.
You don't think he was funny?
No, I didn't like him in the other movies where he was pretending to be the evil guy. It was like, okay, yeah, just like the girl, like you said. Comic relief. I hope she's not in the next one, but that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna happen. So I like this. I like the CG. It was great. The fighting was great. I thought it was really interesting that he was such a bad guy, and the mother was such a virtuous woman that she falls in love with this man that was killing people for 1,000 years. And nobody
Yeah.
explained that part. I'm like, okay, this man is a killer. She's like into nature and the world, and he's been killing people for 1,000 years, but they fall in love and have children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you saw that right there at the beginning, because sometimes the opposites attract.
Yeah.
But remember he put his rings up for her though.
Yeah,
when they left, he put them in that box, and he was willing to give up his rings for her.
Okay.
And then once she died, he put them back on.
Right.
And that was what his son said. They said something about the rings. He says, "Well, he hasn't taken them off since my mom died."
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he was willing to put that part of him away, just like she was willing to put the
she gave away all her skills and all her powers.
Tao Lao or Tao Li, whatever that village she was in, she was willing to leave that for him. So, it was.
Well, I mean, that's the problem I had. The guy's been around for 1,000 years and he has 2 kids. I mean, okay. So what? For 998 years, he didn't do shit with a woman. Oh hell, this is what I've been missing for 900 years. I'll give up my rings for this.
He should have had a country of brains.
I mean, come on. 1,000 years old, he didn't have enough kids to have his own damn army.
Yeah, and you see, of course, it kills him.
We'll find about. We need to have some Maury like, and your child is, and your child is, and your child is.
Yeah.
Wait, and your great great is, and your great great is.
So all right, so hey, let's go ahead. We'll because we're at almost an hour. Let's go through it. Diana had to leave. She said it was a play for her.
Yeah,
sorry,
her.
Diana. So we're gonna do play or pass for it. So how we vote for this, you guys, if you've never watched the show before, play if you would recommend this to someone and you didn't want to get smacked in the mouth later on, or a pass would be I don't want my name on this. You would not recommend this to somebody else. So let's go ahead and take a look at play or pass. So we got Diana gave it a play, Jim gives it a play. What about you, Charles?
Oh, play it. It was good. Most of it was good. If they scratch Ben Kingsley and get rid of the girl, then we'll be fine.
You got to get rid of Aquafina for you and Roger. All right, Roger, what do you think?
Well, I it's a play for me, and I think that it's a great standalone movie. You don't necessarily have to be in on all the backstory of what's happened in the Marvel Universe to enjoy this movie. So I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. Good job. All right, we had Shrink and Sharon gave it a pass, and Richard gave it a pass. Okay. Thank you, bud. Thank you all for voting. What about you, Mr. T?
I give it 2 wings up.
2 wings.
All right, Eddie. Eddie,
I give it a play. Give it
a play. Give it a play. There's we got a play from Eddie. Andrew, Mr. Christmas.
I give it a play as well. Just like Roger said, it's a good standalone movie. I think it's one of those ones where you would recommend it to a non-Marvel fan, and it might drag them into be like, now I need to go and watch the rest and see what's going on, because it doesn't intertwine with any of the other ones.
Yeah, it drops little Easter eggs here and there, and there is some tie-ins, but you're right. It does not force you to have to watch. If you were watching Avengers, you kind of need to have watched some of the others.
If you're a fan of the old kung fu movies, just mess up the audio sync so their mouths aren't moving with the dialogue being spoken, and you're like watching an old 70s kung fu movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
with better choreography.
Yeah, that choreography. What about you, Aubin? Play or pass?
Play.
You're a play.
Play.
I'm going to give it a play, and I know that Blue gave it a play. I think she's watched it probably four times. At least 4 times.
On your TV?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch it in IMAX. I'm going to find an IMAX and watch it in IMAX.
Yeah. You watch it. I'm telling you, if because I have Disney, so I was able to watch it. I didn't have to, but the IMAX version. I mean, the colors and the contrast, it just, to me, was just beautiful. So, And Octavia gives this I'm a Marvel fan, and it's a play. And Mark gave it a play. So we got that. So, Alban, so what do we have on our voting? What's
So far it's a play. We're at 11 for the play. 11. Trying to think. It actually might be more now. 13 plays and 2 passes.
Look, it's Mandy.
Hey, before we leave, what's the movie for next week? Because we
because we're doing that was the next subject.
Yeah, so the next subject is I'm trying to get to it.
I got a feeling.
No artsy stuff. No artsy.
No, it's gonna be.
It's not gonna be. It's not. Yeah, it's gonna be Venom. I figured that's
Venom.
This is.
Yeah.
Everyone's been waiting for this. Have you seen this yet, Charles?
I just watched that last night.
I watched it last night. I watched it last night. And Charles, you're going to find there's some quotes that I'm going to hear you telling. There's some quotes you're going to be using. I'm telling you, when I was listening, I looked at Blue. I was like, hey, that right there is a Charles. I can see it. So, yep, Venom. Let There Be Carnage will be next week's movie. So you guys watch that for next week. I'm sure that most people are going to want to watch it. And I think that this also will be one of those movies I've seen people that watched it previous that didn't like it. And I've seen people that said, oh, it was great. I've seen on this movie, I've seen in Telegram, I've seen people that have seen it, hated it, some that liked it. So I think we'll have a little mix on this 6.2. Look at Shrinking Sharon didn't like it. I
would also suggest that people that if they already watched it, then they can also watch that second place movie was King Richard.
King Richard. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
King Richard.
So you can watch that if you want. It doesn't hurt to watch more than one movie from our list because there's more than one that's good.
Mr. T, what did you say about King Richard?
Long and slow, but if you have here's my tip for the holiday. You got somebody comes over your house and you really don't want them to hang around for Thanksgiving, put on frickin' Tick Tick Boom. Jesus Christ. 4 minutes of that. 4 minutes. That's all I could tell you.
You guys know that I normally watch all the movies.
Yep.
I couldn't. I couldn't. It was like me watching Annette again. Remember that movie Annette that we had?
Yep.
It was like that. I just couldn't. I couldn't finish it. No, that was the one with the other guy there. That other weird guy.
Yeah, the Star Wars guy.
Yeah, the Star Wars guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was so bad.
I don't think I'll ever watch another Lin-Manuel Miranda movie.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I got 3 minutes into this movie and I said, should I go for a dump or what?
Yeah, Eddie, this is you, man. This is you. This is a musical. This is all you.
No. I didn't like this one.
There you go.
No baby.
It was bad. It was bad. I had problems.
So, all right. So, next week's movie is Venom. Let There Be Carnage. So, be sure to you guys to watch that next week. If you want to watch the second place movie was King Richard. Make sure I know everyone that's in the side chat. Almost all those people are in the Telegram room where you're able to put comments. So, if you watch King Richard, even though we did not pick it as the movie, you can do conversation. You can vote if it was a player pass and give comments. So feel free. And I'm going to watch this one just for me. I'm going to watch this. So
and to all those Canadian people out there, watch Beans. It was definitely it was good. It was.
That's a true story.
It's a true story. And coming from an American, I was. Hey, Bruised wasn't a bad one. Also, well, I can't say it wasn't bad, but it was Halle Berry. You know what I mean?
It's Halle Berry.
The normal MMA fighters wear less than what she was wearing.
Well, she's getting up in age. She's not as young as most MMA fighters. That looks
No.
like the drunk Halle Berry that had a hit and run. Remember
Yeah.
when she had the hit and run in her SUV?
Oh, yeah.
That looks like the Halle Berry from there.
Yeah.
So okay, so we got that. That's the movies for next week. Thank you guys for watching us and talking about Shang Chi. We'll have next week. We will be doing Venom, so be sure to watch that. Friday, I'm not sure what we'll be talking about Friday. If you would like to join the show on Friday, hit me up on a message, and my panel is always open for people to join and talk about this and that and help other people. Anything we'll run through everybody before we go, and then I'll do the after show, which will be posted in Telegram, and anybody can join it. Charles, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, Charles, where are you
me.
at? Where are you
At
at?
my mom's house.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know that glass door because I don't.
I know you're like, what is that background? What is all
I
that
know,
behind?
and that look at the painted crown molding. I was like, that ain't.
I know,
the
you know, we don't have that.
Yeah, we didn't have none of that. All right, so
he upgraded
Roger.
since you left.
Yeah, I know. I love the upgrade those. What's you got, Roger?
Thanks for the invite. Had a blast. The movie was good. Looking forward to next week's because I'm a Tom fan, so hopefully it doesn't suck. Yeah, I like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Stephen Graham plays in this one.
Stephen,
And it's got Woody in it. So
Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson.
I know,
Tom and
Woody.
Woody. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard for me not to like that movie.
Okay.
Mr. Turkey.
Hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving and eat a freaking ham tomorrow or goose or duck. leave us turkeys alone. You know, like I said, the only turkey you should be having is the kind that comes out of a fifth bottle. So have a good one.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dubbeach. All right, what about Eddie? Anything you got to say before we go?
Yeah, anybody doesn't like turkey necks, you can send them to me.
Turkey necks.
Oh,
I
necks,
love
yes.
turkey necks.
Oh, that's
Oh,
some
yeah.
good meat.
That's just good gravy meat.
Excuse me while I
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
the hell out of Eddie.
You can send me the wings too if you want.
So,
No,
all right.
Bless you, Andrew.
That's a good one.
Yeah, bless you. Yeah, what you got, Andrew? Anything you want to say before we go?
No, I just I won't be here next week. So I'm gonna work. So
Well,
I'll give the movie a play because I already watched the movie, so I'll give it a play.
Oh, hey,
Well,
I can fill in.
hopefully Blue's
I
here.
can fill in for Andrew next week. I just have to work on my English accent. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. I thought the movie was bloody good. Yeah.
Okay. Alvin, what's your thoughts on this?
Not too much. Thanks to everyone coming out. We'll definitely see you next week. Hopefully we'll be around on Friday. Enjoy your Turkey Day tomorrow. For those of you that will be, having some gobble.
Gobble, gobble,
And,
gobble.
yeah, and
I got a few running outside.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't? Do you eat them or not?
No.
No.
They're ugly.
They're what?
He only eats if it looks good. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
they only look good. That's all.
Okay, hey, we'll
That was
take that
the
to the
rule.
after show.
Yeah,
That
we'll
was
take
the
that to
rule
the
in
after show.
college.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we'll take that to the after show because I can see where that's gonna go. Hey, yeah, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the U.S. I know that the Canada had it last month. I will be having prime rib tomorrow, so I'm cooking prime rib. And
Did you find one?
Actually, yes, because
Good.
through a family member, we were able to get a prime rib,
Okay, good.
so we'll be having prime rib tomorrow and a bunch of fixins.
All right.
So thanks to everybody. Make sure to be checking out. Black Friday is going to be. Well, actually, those sales have already started.
It started, yeah.
If
Really?
you're streaming guys like us, premiumized 2 years for 99 euro or 109 US for 2 years of premiumized. Highly suggest you if you look for that.
Anyone that needs to replace their router, Google mesh routers on sale for $100 off, $250 for the three unit.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Because I got a mesh, and which I haven't hooked it up here, but yeah, they're definitely worth the money. So check out for those special deals. They're going to be hit and miss on the special deals for Friday. Hopefully, I'll have some information on Friday about some deals, and we'll all been keep an eye out for things that are on special. We'll go to the after show. So we'll see you guys on the next one. It's time for me to eat dinner. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All right.
Yeah.